So for this mandala we're going to be throwing away compasses and rulers and just starting with a small square piece of paper and a black pen. I've found the centre and I'm going to work outwards from the centre, just deciding as I go along what pattern I'm going to do next. So I would suggest, if you haven't done this before, keep it small, keep it simple, and don't worry about getting it even, because the whole point of doing it by hand is you come out with a really organic look at the end of it. You could do this in pencil first, but I quite like just going in with a black pen and seeing what happens. This is where practicing making circles really pays off. So obviously I've sped this up, I'm actually going a lot slower, but I'm not worrying too much about how even everything is. For these bigger shapes I'm doing 4 first, like north, south, east and west, and then dividing up the space in between. And you can see they're not completely even, these 2 last ones are quite small, but it doesn't matter at the end, you wouldn't really notice. This is perfect for making into cards, so you can buy square cards that are blank and you can draw mandalas on them. You can leave these black and white or you can colour them in. I quite often have just one part that's got colour in it. I might pick just one part of the pattern and add colour all the way around, and that really makes it pop out. So sometimes I work outwards and sometimes I go back into the bigger shapes and add some more detail. I like adding a few little bits of black pen, which really adds some contrast. And here I'm going in and thickening some lines, but they're not even. I'm not trying to get an even line. I just like the organic look of this. But again, it really helps the contrast to have some thick lines and some thin lines. You can get thicker pens, you can get 0.5 pens in the same type, which makes it a little bit easier I guess, but I just tend to use the 0.1 and just make the lines thicker. So you can see here I'm deliberately making that little circle inside quite uneven. It's got some thicker bits and thinner bits, but that's just the way I like it. So I'm adding some little details here, some little lines, and then I decide to add some bigger shapes and go further out. I vary the details that I do as well, so sometimes I'll do dots, sometimes I'll do straight lines, sometimes I'll do curved lines like here. Like with the other mandalas, once you've decided on a pattern on one area, just repeat it around. If you make a mistake, then you just repeat that mistake. And these little dashed lines, I really like this effect, it looks like it's stitched. thickening up these lines just gives that shape a bit more depth. So I'm happy what I've done with pen so far, and I'm going to add a bit of shading which adds a bit more depth. So I'm just going in where there's a little bit of overlap of the patterns. And there we are, the finished mandala. So I'm looking forward to seeing some great hand-drawn black and white mandalas in the Facebook group. See you soon!